This video is sponsored by BetterHelp because I'm pretty sure this movie made me depressed. Joker Folie Deux was directed by Todd Phillips and released in theaters this weekend. And if you guys didn't know, I am a massive fan of the first Joker movie. It's not only my favorite comic book movie, which I know, very controversial statement there, but it's also just one of my favorite movies in general. I love it. Like, top 5. That's big, man. I love it so much. And with this sequel, I was hesitant. Like, it's a musical. I love musicals, but is a musical really the best follow-up to a movie in which he blows a guy's brains out on live TV? So that's what we're here to talk about. And then we have Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn in this movie. Talk about that. We have a lot to talk about, and I don't normally do this. If you've seen my reviews in the past, you know I'm very, I'm not very organized, but I try to do a non-spoiler and a spoiler, but for this movie, to tell you guys my overall complete thoughts, I just need to get straight to the spoilers. There's not even a point in doing the non-spoiler section, because the things that I have to say, it all involves spoilers. So, if you guys haven't seen Joker Folie Deux, leave now. Go watch the film, come back, and hear my thoughts, okay? Hope you're gone. Alright. Joker Folie Deux. So, guys, listen, alright? I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. This movie frustrated the hell out of me. And I know I'm going to sound crazy saying this right after I just said that, but it also fascinated me. So this film opens up with a Looney Tunes style cartoon starring the Joker. Bonkers right from the get-go, but I was into it, I was loving it, and I swear, guys, for at least the first about hour and I want to say a half of the film, I really loved it. I thought this was going to be not a 10 out of 10. I don't think I was ever approaching that of this being better than the first film or anything like that. But I was thinking, maybe it's at least going to be like an 8 out of 10 for me, because I'm having fun. I was enjoying the musical numbers. I know people are complaining about the music. But look, guys, alright, Joker did not play Johnny Cash. I know Joaquin Phoenix played Johnny Cash, but that doesn't mean that Joker did. And we are getting them singing within their characters, Lady Gaga is world-renowned. Awesome. A music legend. But Harley Quinn is not. They're singing within character. They're not going to be all-star singers, So I wasn't, bothered by that. And to be honest, I was singing along with some of the songs because there's not a ton of original songs. It's not like West Side Story or Grease or stuff like that where it's just non-stop, newly composed original songs. There is, I think, one in there from Lady Gaga that's literally called The Joker. But all these other ones, I believe, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, are all, like, very popular, like, 60s songs. You got some Frank Sinatra in there. And I was singing along. I was vibing to that, because I vibed to the music in the first movie. That's life, that's life. All that awesome stuff. And I wasn't bothered by it being musical because in the first movie, Arthur has plenty of musical kind of moments where he's dancing in the bathroom after he kills the guys on the subway, dancing on the stairs, dancing with his mother. The list goes on between, these moments where he is expressing himself through, theatrical and musical elements. And I thought that really fit with this movie. A Joker musical is an interesting idea on paper. Now, with the execution of that, I was a little, no, I'm not even gonna joke about this, guys. I like the musical bits of it, right? But as far as a story, so, they fucked it up. They fucked it up, man. I hate to sound like Angry Joe here, but they fucked it up. There's no other way to say it, guys. So, with this movie, if you're a fan of the 2019 film, like I am, you are basically being told, screw you. You guys are idiots. Get out of here. You're shit. So they undo a lot of development in this movie that Arthur went through in the first movie. You know how in the first film, you get that triumphant, satisfying ending where he stands on top of the cop car, he does the blood smear, the smile in front of all of his, supporters, and they're cheering him on, even though he's done some horrific shit. But I cared about Arthur in that first movie. I got attached to that character. And to see him succeed in that way, even though through some violent and screwed up ways, he got there in the end. He got what he wanted. He was accepted. But all of a sudden, in this movie, they just fucking throw all that away. Where Arthur, in court, basically decides, I'm going to denounce myself as the Joker. He has had enough of it. He doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. He's depressed. He gets abused by cops. Harley is upset with him after he makes this turn as well from Joker to Arthur because she is the manipulative one in this situation. Sorry. I'm trying to rapidly talk, but my words can't keep up with my brain. But she is the manipulative one to him. Whereas, basically, in any other form of media, whether Batman the Animated Series, the Harley Quinn show, honestly, any other version of Joker, he is not very compassionate towards Harley. I mean, they have some lovey-dovey moments here and there, but he is using her, all the time. There's literally an episode of the animated series where she leaves him because he is, just being a dick. And she goes, has an adventure with, Poison Ivy or something, I think. But literally, in this movie, she is the manipulative one, which I like that change of pace. That's an interesting change, that dynamic, it's shifting. So I liked that. But, what they do is they don't utilize Lady Gaga in the way that you should utilize Lady Gaga. She is, honestly, I'm being straight up with you guys here, she might have less screen time in this movie than freaking Brendan Gleeson's character. Because he's playing this police guard that's a dick to Arthur the whole movie. He might have more screen time than her. I really don't know. It's got to be close. Because she's not in this movie a whole lot. For someone that has half the poster dedicated to her, a lot of the marketing is dedicated to her and Arthur being united. It's like, oh yeah, Harley Quinn and Joker. She's not in this a lot. And look, when she is in it, she's singing. She's doing good. I love Lady Gaga. Ever since A Star is Born, I was like, she is a phenomenal actress as much as she is a phenomenal singer. But in this movie, she's not utilized in a very good way. We don't get enough of her. The chemistry between her and Joaquin Phoenix is admittedly not that strong either. Which is crazy, because these are two awesome actors. Joaquin Phoenix puts together an amazing performance. Once again. And I was speaking of performances. I want to mention this later on in the video here. There's a character that comes back, Gary, from the first movie, the short guy that witnessed Arthur kill Randall in the apartment. He's in this movie. He shows up later and he steals the show. I'll get to that in a minute. But getting back to the chemistry between them, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel natural. I don't know why. You have two talented people, and you can't... I don't know, guys. So, without me rambling on anymore, let me get into more of what the story did that I didn't care for. So, yeah, Arthur basically denounces himself as Joker. Because they're trying to build this case that Joker is this persona that he was kind of, it was a splintered personality where all this bad stuff happened to him to where he took on the Joker persona to get out his anger and commit these crimes, but it wasn't really Arthur. That man that killed all these people was the Joker. It's not Arthur Fleck. But Arthur has enough of that. He fires his lawyer right in the middle of the trial, and he's like, I'm going to represent myself. And then the movie takes a turn where he is literally campaigning the fact that I am not the Joker anymore. The Joker is gone. It was something that I did to stand out and gain momentum and gain, attention, basically. And, yeah, he denounces himself as the Joker. So, Arthur Fleck doesn't want to be the Joker in the movie that's called Joker, you get him basically saying, I want to be, you know, a normal part of society again. I want to be me. I want to be Arthur Fleck. So he's conforming himself to the very society that in the first movie he says abandoned him and treated him like trash. That is what he said before he killed Murray Franklin. But now, all of a sudden, they're picturing Arthur in, like, this meek and like, I mean, it's still traumatic, but, like, it's, like, just such a weaker, like, where did his fire go? I mean, I know we're picking this up 2 years after the first film, so he's probably, you know, worn out that high that he was on that night when he was standing above all those people, but my God, you still have 2 years later, you still have so many supporters. They literally blow up, they get a car bomb and blow a hole into the courtroom, and Arthur gets out that way, and then there's these two guys dressed up like Joker, and they're trying to get him out of the city. Like, there are people dedicated to your cause 2 years later, and you're gonna throw it all away. You're gonna throw it all, for what? For what? I don't get it. And here's where y'all are gonna be, you know, crazy. I give this a 6 out of 10, guys. I can't, for what it is, right? The story just freaking spits on everything that was great about the first movie. Even though I'm not gonna let this movie ruin that first one for me. It's a gorgeous film. The shots are amazing. The lighting, the music, the performances, all fantastic. And I swear, guys, I'm not kidding. For the first, like, hour and a half of the film, I was loving it. Up until Arthur said, there is no Joker. I don't want to be Joker anymore. I'm conforming to society. Oh my God, like, why? Why? Why are we throwing away all of his development, his rise, his fight back against society? It just dies out. It just completely goes away. It's like the first movie never even happened. And guess what, guys? I wish the sequel never happened. Even though I'm giving it a 6 out of 10, and y'all are probably thinking I'm insane because I've talked shit about it so much, more than I've talked positive about it. But look, I swear, the movie looks beautiful. And I can't in good conscience give it a lower rating than that, right now anyway, until I watch it again, revitalize my thoughts, weigh the good against the bad, and ultimately determine if this is a film that I like or actively dislike. Because this movie was getting compared to Halloween Ends, but I can say right now, this movie is light years ahead of Halloween Ends. Because Halloween Ends, I don't even want to get into Halloween Ends. It's a fucking shit movie. But this movie is disrespectful to the fans. It throws away all development. And it basically tells everybody that liked the first movie that, hey, you were wrong. This was not the Joker story, because guess what? By the end of this movie, Arthur gets stabbed to death by this inmate that we see like 2 or 3 different shots of. He doesn't interact with Arthur until the very end, where he tells him a joke, and he's like, you get what you fucking deserve, and he stabs him to death, and it ends with Arthur dead. That is the final shot. It's Arthur's dead body, while this guy in the background is carving his mouth like Heath Ledger. Is like, why? That is it for this movie review. Let me know what you thought of the film down in the comments below. I'm going to stop now before I start turning red in the face by how angry I'm getting by this movie. But I swear, it's 6 out of 10. You're going to have to trust me until I do that video or I go into it, into more of the film. You're going to have to trust me. Let me know what your rating is down in the comments below. Take care. And put on a happy face, even though it's fucking hard for me to do that after this movie. Take care. Goodbye.